Hi, I'm Pat Van Munn, originally from Green Bay, Wisconsin, land of cheese. We're here in the Santa Cruz mountains of Cupertino, the Caboose of Romance. The dimensions are 9 by 40 feet, so the internal dimensions are like 9 by 36. A lot of steel in these cars. This set of wheels here was a challenge to push around with our little tractors. We basically could lift half of it at a time and shove it in place. And it weighs about 10,000 pounds, 5 tons. The box itself is another 20,000 pounds. It was lifted by cranes. No big deal for a crane. They can do amazing things. We have a few amenities here. A deck back here for wine tasting, drinking, kicking back, you know. Propane tanks for the direct vent heater, and also tankless hot water heater. So you turn on the shower in the bathtub and it fires up. Water supply, spring and well. Each cistern is 5,000 gallons. And the car is actually on gravity water, so if we have a power outage, the residents are good to go. They just may have to use a flashlight to see what they're doing. The kids crank on this a lot. This bell is a big locomotive bell. I'm sure it was stolen from the Milwaukee Road by a guy who worked there. I bought it from a lady whose husband had passed away and was an employee there when I was at home, bored, visiting my parents. So I found this in the paper and we settled on a price, and it's a brass bell from a big locomotive.
This video is sponsored by Jackery, and we have a special offer for you today. Jackery is throwing a flash sale with up to 20% off on selected products from April 14th to the 22nd. So don't miss this chance, this opportunity to snag a portable solar generator for your spring getaway. I think if you're watching our videos, you're probably interested in living a more sustainable lifestyle, and this is where Jackery comes into play. Because with the Jackery Explorer 1000 Pro, you have a lightweight portable solar generator that requires no maintenance, it's plug and play, and it creates no local emissions like a gas generator, so you're not over there breathing in those fumes from running a combustion engine. So don't miss this opportunity. Click the link in the description below and get your Jackery solar generator today. And remember to subscribe. I
always had a wild hair to buy a caboose, so knowing absolutely nothing, I just picked up the phone and called Southern Pacific Railway Company in San Francisco. That in itself is amazing, that you can be routed to a person who immediately could tell you, yes, we have more cabooses than you probably want. How many did you want, sir? That was the first phase of challenge, just getting the cars here. And there are two, because you had to have the cupola caboose. I mean, life could not go on without that. Then you had to look at, gee, there's the high-tech caboose, the bay window caboose, okay? So you had to have one of those too. So there are people out there who are happy to help you as long as you have a checkbook. And away we went. I let them sit for years, like maybe 5-10 years. And then finally, a friend of mine who lived down in the village said, hey, I want to move into the view caboose, which is the bay window caboose. It's up on the hill. He started refinishing the inside and eventually lived there for 29 years. Still there today, and my daughter's mother-in-law lives there happily.
Hi, I'm Julie, and I live up here at the Gulch with Pat. This is my caboose, and I love it. I've been living here for 5 or 6 years. I have the bay window caboose, and you can see the bay window right there, and that was to be able to see the trains as they were coming. The caboose itself, I think, was about 185 feet. This little addition here made it 375 feet, and then I added an addition because I wanted a bathroom. Now it's 500 square feet. One of the problems is the air blows under the caboose, so the floor is always cold. Everybody asks, how did Pat get it up here? And Pat just says, lots of money. This is my entrance. Pat and I share grandchildren. So I had this loft built for the grandchildren where they can come up and play. And I have a ladder. My son built the pipes, and this was like a project for everybody. And then this is my lovely, much sought after bathroom. And I just cleaned it yesterday, so you can go in and take a picture. Pat and I dug the holes, put in the foundation, put the deck out. It was everybody contributing. But the people up here, we have a couple of contractors, so it was all done to code. It's not gonna fall down. So this is the addition. And over here's the caboose part. The drywall's added and new. The ceiling probably is from all the redwood up here. This was the bathroom. I mean, it had a toilet. You can still see the structure of it. It had a clawfoot bathtub right here. And I had a shower right here. So when I did the demolition, I just moved in all my dishes. And it has a dishwasher. It's actually working right now, I think, because I can hear it. Chris Bean did most of it because he was the guy who lived here for 28 years. But he never had a refrigerator. I don't know how he did that.
The cupola caboose came to be because a Polish filmmaker friend of mine was getting married. I said, Mark, look, tomorrow we'll go up to my house on our lunch hour and we'll just take a look. About a week later, the bride comes up and she's looking kind of askance because this caboose had not been refurbed. I said, well, you know, I've been looking for an excuse to clean this place up. She says, yeah, sure, you can have this done in 2 months. Fortunately, my wife's son is a Finnish carpenter, so he and I, you know, busted our asses to get this thing done, and we got it done about 3 days before the wedding. And they spent their honeymoon night here in the caboose. So we've called it the Caboose of Romance. I think of it as a mini home, but many homeowners don't think of it as a mini home. Of course, wine glasses, that's important. Refrigerator, little pod coffee maker here with Peet's Coffee. Peet's and Starbucks are always competitors in this area. So we're on the Peet's side. This is actually a stove that's put into boats. A little oven and a couple of burners. And it's propane, so it's kind of safe. This is probably the most difficult single item to get in this through the skinny door and up and over the steelworks on the back porch here. And it weighs about 400 pounds. But people bathe in it and drink champagne, and I've heard all kinds of stories about the bathtub of the Caboose of Romance. Nice to have a toilet, importante. I always like this library ladder here. I don't know why, and we kind of designed the bed and the need to get up there using this ladder. The queen-size bed up in the cupola. I myself, with my grandchildren, have slept up there, and they say, and I agree, in the morning when the sun comes up in the east and shines in the windows, through the trees, it's way cool. The brass tubing comes from restaurant supply places. It's pretty common to outfit the decor of a restaurant in period kind of stuff. That's the upstairs. And then this stove is show only. It's a stove from a turn of the century wooden passenger car. I bought it from a couple who had it advertised in Washington State. Managed to get it down here, so that was cool. So we have a couple of antique pieces, you know. This is a table, its wing collapses, some antique chairs. Heat is nice, we like heat. And this is actually called a trundle bed. My wife educated me as to trundle beds. So the bottom mattress pops out and pops up. So you basically have optionally a regular sized bed. Typically it's good for a couple with a couple of kids. The maximum we've had in here was a track team. You know, we had to take our maximum capacity 4 people sign out for the evening because there were 12 people stacked up like cordwood in the place in sleeping bags. My wife is an antique nut. This is a banker lawyer chair, I'm told. At least there's one comfortable chair in here. This is the door and all the trim, all the redwood trim in here was made from redwood trees on the property, cut by a steam-powered sawmill. Ancient old thing, dangerous as all hell. The rest of the material is all original, and we're pretty sure it's Douglas fir, because there's a lot of fir in California, and it had about 10 coats of paint on it, and we sandblasted it off and sealed it. So this is all original. All the wood interior is original. I had a chance to get a flat car for scrap metal price. So I built this boxcar addition onto the caboose for my daughter. It was like 8 years, and then other people moved in there. We had a dentist move in there, and the dentist's son, and the dentist's dog, and the dentist's son's girlfriend, and today we still have nurses mainly. And then last year, found this kind of a scrap locomotive up in the Feather River Canyon, where there are also a bunch of, turns out there are train idiots all over the place, okay? It worked most of its working life in a quarry in the East Bay. So of course it has all the accoutrements of your standard locomotive, like a crystal chandelier, a heating device here, of course, a stock of junk food and whiskey. Without that, a locomotive really doesn't measure up. I think it's easy for people, including myself, to get mired in the details of something. When you're at the I want stage, I would refrain from, oh gee, it's over here, or it costs this much, or it's blue, or what is it you want? Stay big picture, right? And really decide if this is if you want this, use the big picture approach is what I would say.
The Jackery Explorer 1000 Pro is a compact, lightweight solar generator. Its optimized design with the foldable handles makes it easy to store. It's 2 kilograms lighter than any comparable power station on the market with 1 kilowatt consumption. You can use it as home backup for any of your appliances in the case of a power outage, or if you want to take it with you outside or on a camping trip. It causes no noise compared to a noisy gas generator, which is also putting out pollutants into the air that you breathe, toxic pollutants. This has 0 local emissions, and it's silent, lightweight, compact, portable. It's what you want. I'm telling you, it's what you want. It's sustainable because as long as the sun is there, you've got unlimited electricity if you got the solar panels. So stick the solar panels in the sun, charge up the battery, and you are living a more sustainable life because you can harvest your own electricity by yourself, making you a more independent and sovereign individual and less dependent on the system. Thus, a more sustainable lifestyle. So get your portable solar generator today. Click the link in the description below and don't miss this opportunity because this flash sale is only good from April 14th to April 22nd. So get your Jackery portable solar generator today.